Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots. Bootlicker, shills, debt slayers, peasants, vassals, minions, meat sacks. I'm Useful Idiot. Welcome. And we go to Libya. And boy, here we go again. So it turns out that this much talked about European intervention, direct intervention in Libya is not going to happen. They're going to try some other plans first. And so what better idea than to try a plan that's failed everywhere else in the Middle East and then apply it to North Africa as well. That's the idea of trying to create some coalition, get all the militias there armed, and somehow unite in a fight against ISIS and to reconstruct the country. So it kind of smacks of nation building again, but more importantly, I guess we're going to flood Libya with more weapons again and hope for the best, cross our fingers. But so we've had an arms embargo because of the fact that NATO destroyed Libya and then flooded the country with guns, and then they had an arms embargo not because they wanted to keep arms out of Libya. It's just Libya was so full of arms they literally couldn't get any more arms into Libya, and that's essentially my understanding of why they cut off arms to Libya. But now they're going to change that. They're going to supply weapons, and they're going to train a Libyan presidential guard, which one problem apparently is that right now there is no Libyan presidential guard. So anyway, they're going to create one, and then they're going to train them, and that's supposedly part of this mission as well. And then more importantly, of course, they're going to bolster the Libyan Coast Guard to keep immigrants from leaving Libya, and then they want to make sure that oil shipments resume at their peak levels. So that's where we're getting to the heart of the matter here. But let's remember there is special forces on the ground. I've had a dilemma watching the developments in Libya because articles seem to come and go, and it's hard to confirm. But it appears, for all practical purposes, that French, UK, Jordanian, and U.S. special forces are operating on the ground in Libya, already trying to organize these forces. And so what we have is a government in Tripoli now that is supposedly the recognized government in Libya, and is now led by basically a Western U.S. puppet, Fayez al-Sarraj. And of course, they're going to go out of their way, make sure that people don't think that this American puppet is a puppet, but it's a puppet. And but part of the problem is we have two different governments right now in Libya, and then a great deal of chaos in between. And so we have east and west, and we have one government in Tobruk and one government in Tripoli. And so the West is now supporting the government in Tripoli, although previously they had given some support to General Haftar. And now the West is swinging back the other direction, but we have a problem because Egypt, United Arab Emirates, continue to support General Haftar in Tobruk. So will have to be some more negotiating going on to try and swing everything in support of the government in Tripoli now. So that's going to be a problem in itself, aside from all the other flaws in this plan. And I thought it was pretty fascinating, too, to find out that in spite of all this chaos in Libya, the National Bank and the National Oil Corporation continue to function. What a shocker there, huh? They've remained unified and have not joined the factional fighting going on in Libya. So in spite of all this chaos, the bank and the oil corporation are still functioning. And then it finds out too that a UK-based company is supplying the Libyan currency to run the Tripoli government, $2 billion so far. And then there's some speculation that Russia may print Libyan currency for the Tobruk government. So let's go ahead and shovel some arms into Libya and cross our fingers and hope for the best. And even though that strategy hasn't worked anywhere else in the world, we're going to try it there in Libya, and then keep propping this up. And then somewhere along the line, some showdown and some settlement is going to have to be made between the government in Tobruk and the government in Tripoli, and that could lead to some bloodshed in itself if not done right. So anyway, and then we also, as we know, ISIS has an even larger presence. So in spite of all these efforts that have gone on, all these airstrikes from various nations in the region, including the U.S., and then special forces operating on the ground, and all these myriad militias all over the place, including Al-Qaeda, Now we have ISIS presence actually spreading, and now they have 5,000 fighters. As I brought up in a previous video, when you have 5,000 ISIS fighters, apparently it's enough to take over a country, and we'll see what happens in Libya. But anyway, yeah, more guns for Libya. Great idea. I'm useful idiot. Don't you be one too?